e-inclusion, IT training for rural SC/ST women beneficiaries, e-Vidya, an innovative project for rural women, women digital literacy program, legal literacy, etc. He also implemented many innovative ICT-led policy initiatives for promoting inclusive growth in rural parts of India. On behalf of Jain Deemed to be University and all the participants, I would like to welcome Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan to this session. Also, I welcome all the faculty members of various disciplines and librarians of Jain Deemed to be University to this session. Over to Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan.
Thank you, Dr. Miramani. So I request all the participants to mute your mic so that we are able to listen to each other properly. And so I think now we are 107 people now, and there are a few housekeeping rules that we may want to follow for this webinar. So first is kindly mute your mic. A humble request to everyone. Please mute your mic. I have centrally muted, but still people are forcibly unmuting themselves. That's not a good sign. So kindly mute your mic. Second is, if you want to ask anything or if you want to ask some questions or share some feedback, kindly put it in the chat window. That's the best medium of asking or interacting with us. And the third one is, kindly do not start your video or don't share your screen. So if I'm still not audible, I think there is some your audio may not have been connected. So kindly connect the audio. If I'm still not audible, kindly put it on the chat message. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Go ahead.
Yes, you are audible.
You're audible. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So I think then
Yeah.
the challenge might be from your end. So kindly bear with me for people who are not able to hear me. I think your internet may be slow or your audio may not have been connected. So rest of you kindly mute your mic. So with this, we will start the session. So I hope the screen is visible. So let me begin the session. So as Dr. Miramani introduced, I'm Dr. Vignesh. I'm part of the National Digital Library of India team. And so I look after the outreach of NDLI program. So today we are going to look at following things. Why NDLI? Who is this for? What kind of content we have? How to practice NDLI? And what's the difference between Google and NDLI? And then how to operate NDLI club. So these are the few things that we are going to see in this presentation. So let's first begin with why NDLI. So let's look at this perspective of NDLI. So this India map shows the literacy rate of the country as per the 2011 census. So as per the 2011 census, except very few states, say Kerala, Goa, Tripura and Mizoram, where the literacy level is above 90%, but in rest of the states and majority of the states it's below 75%. So that's the state of the literacy rate in this country. And second thing is there is a fact. So kindly bear with me. There is a small 5-month-old baby at my baby is here. So she is trying to catch sleep. So she will make some noise. Kindly bear with me. So there is another fact of like every month 1 million people, that's 10 lakh people are turning 18 years. So that means they are getting into the higher education, or they are about to get into the higher educational stream. So if we have to address that educational requirement of these 1 million people, India needs to set up 6 universities and 270 colleges every month. And if we have to like create or set up this infrastructure, the one time cost of say anywhere between 50,000 crore to 1 crore rupees every month. And on top of it, you have the operational expenses that has to be invested, which is almost going to be equivalent amount. So the overall situation, if we look at the total cost would somewhere anywhere between 50,000 crore to 1 lakh crore rupees, and every month. So if you ask me, even if we invest this much of resources, if you ask me like whether they will be sustainable, nobody knows, because we have already seen many institutions going without admissions. Many institutions have already closed, and a few institutions are in the process of closing down. So we have seen all sorts of things. So the government of India looked at alternative solutions for addressing this educational divide. So you might have heard of this NPTEL, Swayam Prabha, Gyan, NDLI. All these are these supplementary and complementary learning resource materials the government of India has created in the last couple of years. And then in like why NDLI? So some of you may know NDLI was started as a pilot project in 2016, and so when we started, there was a purpose. So if you look at the budget of libraries, it has been drastically coming down. So a few years back, the budget was say 20 lakh rupees if it's a medium sized institution. Now it has come down to 2 lakhs. Similarly, for the budget was say 1 crore rupees 5-6 years back, now it has come down to 10 lakh rupees. So the budget for library has been drastically cut down. Apart from this, the physical libraries has its own limitations. Say for example, you can stack say 5 or 6 copies of a resource. So whereas the people who want to access the same resource would be anywhere between 100 or 200. So which require that is a challenge. And also like when you have resources, say for example during this time of lockdown, we have all the resources in the physical library, but we are not able to go to these libraries to access knowledge or resources. So this calls for a dedicated solution, a digital solution which can address the knowledge requirement of the country. So NDLI primary purpose was is to democratize the education. So if, for example, the institution which have the budget for procuring resources, they are still procuring. But imagine the resources where the budget has been drastically reduced, which means they are going to have less knowledge resources, and their access to knowledge is going to be limited, and obviously the learning outcomes will drastically get reduced. So that's what so in order to democratize the education and providing access to every Indian citizen, the government has started this National Digital Library of India, and it was dedicated to the nation as a knowledge asset in on 19 June 2018 by the then Himachali Minister Shri Prakash Javadekar ji. So now let's look at who is this for and what kind of content we have at NDLI. So NDLI resources are meant for all age groups, starting from school going students to college going youths, academicians, researchers, professionals, entrepreneurs, lifelong learners. It's meant for all age group learners. And what do we have at NDLI? So primarily at NDLI, we ingest metadata. So metadata is nothing but data about data in a crude way, or in this space. So this is nothing but the basic information about the resource. Say for example, if there is a book, so what is the title of the book, who is the author, who is the publisher, when was it published. So this basic information is called metadata. Okay, so at NDLI we store or we ingest only the metadata. We don't store any full text. So then you may ask me, where does the full text lie? So I will take you to this slide. So kindly have a look at this slide. So at the center of this entire process is NDLI repository. Okay, let me give you an example. Say for example, how we operate is, suppose if Jain University is having say 1000 non-copyrighted open source knowledge resource materials. It could be a faculty publication or a classroom notes, or a audio lecture or a video lecture or a PowerPoint presentation or a question bank. So they may have stuff open free resources which they want to contribute to NDLI. So in that case, what we do is we get into an agreement with Jain University, and then we help them in creating an institutional digital repository, that is like IDR. So we follow this DSpace. There is a IDR called DSpace. So we help the institution in creating the IDR, and then so we have a metadata schema, standard metadata schema. So we give them that this all these resources has to be in this metadata schema. So we help them in creating the metadata, and then they store it in their server. What NDLI does is, we actually run a web service between NDLI and Jain University, and then we only bring the metadata, and the full text and the metadata, copy of the metadata, both lies at their own server, at Jain University server. So we give a call. Suppose if a researcher comes to NDLI, he searches for a resource, say on financial accounting. Suppose if faculty yes, say for example, Dr. Kuppuswamy has been very vocal, so he has published a article on financial accounting. So suppose if a researcher wants to access the article written by Dr. Kuppuswamy, so suppose if it's available in our repository, we direct him to Jain University's server, and it checks the authenticity, checks the credentials, and then we push back the entire content to the researcher. So that is how it functions. So this is how we operate, and we don't store any metadata. We don't any full text, for a simple reason: we don't want to get into the copyright violation issue. So many of you know about copyright violations, because suppose if we store the full text resources, and say one of the resources becomes a copyrighted material, so the entire then somebody may file a case against NDLI and say that this is a copyrighted material, and NDLI has hosted it on our server. Then the entire NDLI initiative will be closed down. So that has already happened with a similar government program called Digital Library of India, which was created a couple of years back. So we don't want to repeat the same mistake. So we only store metadata, and the full text primarily comes from our partner institutions. Okay, so we or our partners store three types of contents. So first content is born digital objects. So for example, 5 years back you wrote a thesis. You used a laptop to write your thesis. You wrote it in a Word document, and then you converted it into a PDF. During the time of submission, you wrote it in a DVD and gave it to your university. Okay, so that is called born digital object. And the second one is digital surrogate of a physical object. So for example, 30 years back, when there was no proper use of computers, or very less use of computers, so during that time, people might have handwritten the thesis, or they might have typewritten it. So now it's available in the physical object form. So suppose if we scan this resource and convert it into a PDF, and then we put it on the digital space, then it becomes a digital surrogate of a physical object. And the third content type we have is only metadata. we don't store any full text. So these are the three types of content we have at the NDLI. So as I mentioned, NDLI doesn't store any content. NDLI only ingests metadata for search and browse, and the content full text is delivered directly from the source. Okay. So as I mentioned, we primarily act as the content integrator, right? So I gave you an example about Jain University. Similarly, we worked with 278 such content collaborators. Okay. So what type of content we have? So this is as per, there's a classification type called DDC, duodecimal classification. So our resources has been classified as per this classification pattern. Computer science, information and general works, we have closer to 99 lakh resources. Philosophy and psychology, 6.1 lakh resources. Religion, 2 lakh resources. Social sciences, 45 lakh resources. Language, 1 lakh resources. Natural sciences and mathematics, 83 lakh resources. Technology, 1 crore resources. The arts, fine and decorative arts, 4.5 lakhs. Literature and rhetoric, 7.8 lakhs. History and geography, 6.1 lakhs. So this is the kind of resources we have. In total, as of today, we have 4.8 crore resources. And so who are the top 20 content contributors? So World eBook Library has contributed around 77 lakh resources. And in fact, the government of India has procured national license from this World eBook Library. Okay. Followed by CiteSeerX, they have contributed 52 lakh resources. PubMed Central, 38 lakhs. IEEE Explore Digital Library, 33 lakhs. So from IEEE, we have got only the metadata. We have not got the full text. Similarly, Springerling, we have got 21 lakh resources. They are also only metadata, not the full text. And then what type of content we have at NDLI? We have a range of contents. So starting from a thesis, dissertation, research projects, books, periodicals, ebooks, journals, annual reports, law acts, law judgments, data sets, manuscripts, question banks, case studies, stamp papers, assignments, assessments, lecture slides, videos, video lectures, audio lectures, PowerPoint presentations, you name any form of educational resource, educational research resource, they are available at NDLI. An article tops the major chunk of our resources with 2.97 crore resources, followed by books, 64 lakh resources, reports 12 lakhs, notes 11 lakhs, law acts 8.7 lakhs, law judgments 8.7 lakhs, technical reports 7.1 lakhs, thesis 6.4 lakhs, historical records 5.3 lakhs, video lectures 3.6 lakhs. So then comes the access options. So there are 5 different types of access options available at NDLI. So which the access options you can see on the below every search item. Say for example here, this green color icon open, this is called access options. And the second one is language and third one is content type. So, and there are 5 access options available. So the green lock open, which is a full text resource, that is open. And similarly NDLI, a man with NDLI written, that is also a full text resource. And the third one is limited access, a black shield with off white is called limited access, which means only part of text is available. And then subscribed, an orange color icon with off open is called subscribed. Say for example Springer, they have only given metadata to us. Suppose if an institution has subscribed to Springer, then if you click that resource from your institute's IP, then it will check whether the IP is matching. If it's matching, then they will allow you the full text. And the next option is restricted. So this resource is only meant for their internal consumption, not for external purposes. Okay. So these are the 5 access options. So kindly remember whatever I'm saying, because in the questions we will be having a lot of questions for you to respond, and you need to score at least 50 marks to be eligible to get a certificate of participation, e-certificate of participation. And so as I was mentioning about 5 different types of access options, and the first open access format, so as I mentioned, we have 4.8 crore resources, out of which 2.74 crore resources are full text resources, open resources, and also NDLA resources are another 77 lakh resources. So if we combine both of them, then it will be 3.63 crore resources, which is 75% of our total resources are full text resources. That is, you can download these resources and use it for educational purposes without having to pay a single penny. Now let's look at how to access NDLI. So accessing NDLI is very simple. Just go to Google or any other browser, Firefox or Safari or any other mobile browser, whichever browser you are comfortable with, and then go to the browser and search for National Digital Library of India. The first URL you will get, it's ndl.iitkgp.ac.in. That's the first URL you will get. Also you may get ndl.gov.in, and both the URLs direct you to the same page. So you just have to click on the first URL. So once you click on the first URL, this is how it will take you to our home page, and this is how our home page looks like. Okay, so there is a pop-up window. Once you open our home page, there is a pop-up window that will appear. So this pop-up window, our team has actually collated or classified the resources into various educational levels, right? And you can see from here: school, UG engineering, UG science, UG other disciplines, language, management, law. So you can actually click them. So I will talk about this in a very short while. Let's see how to access these resources. So first and foremost thing you need to remember in using NDLI is the search keyword. So you should be using right search keyword without any spelling mistake. Suppose if you make any spelling mistake, then the results will differ. Okay, so here I searched for a topic called History of English Literature. Okay, and then on the right I have just clicked on the search icon. The results will appear. Then I can narrow down the results by applying filters. So here I applied for a filter called subject category, language and literature. I applied for 2 filters. I got 6,74,000 resources on the topic of history of English literature. So left hand side you can see 11 filters. On the right hand side you can see 1 filter. So the filters are like access restriction filter, author filter, subject category filter, educational degree, difficulty level, educational level, file format, language, learning resource type, source. So these are the 11 filters available on the right and left hand side, and on the right hand side you have the content type. So you can see video, audio, text, PPT, simulations. So you can see the content type filter. So you can narrow down your result using these filters. So you remember these filters. There may be questions on this also. And then I searched for a topic called financial accounting. So here I applied 2 filters. One is I applied access restriction, which is open and NDLI resources. That means full text resources. And I wanted only video lectures. So what I did was, on the right hand side I clicked on video. So I got 1727 video lectures on the topic of financial accounting. So here you can see there is a video coming from TeacherTube. There is a video coming from NPTEL. There is a another video coming from NPTEL. Another video coming from Watch, Know, Learn. So, and also there is a video source coming from World eBook Library. So accordingly you can narrow down the results using the various filters. And the next topic I searched was business economics. Again here I applied 2 filters. One is access restriction. I wanted only full text resources. And then subject category, social sciences and technology. So I got 6 lakh resources on the topic of business economics. And the next topic I searched was on entrepreneurship. Okay, here I applied only open and NDLA resources. I wanted only full text resources. I got 28,000 results on the topic of entrepreneurship. Next topic, UG cost accounting. I wanted results for UG and PG and only video lectures. So I got 1822 results on the topic of cost accounting. And the next topic I searched was on microeconomics. Here I wanted sources, content only from 2 sources. One is Asim Premji Foundation, another one is MIT OpenCourseWare. And I got 251 results on the topic of microeconomics. Next topic, financial management. Here I wanted only thesis on the topic of financial management. So what I did was I went to the source and then clicked on InflibNet Shodh Ganga. I got 15,843 theses on the topic of financial management. And then business analytics. Here I wanted resources only from NPTEL. So I went to source, I clicked on search, checked on NPTEL. I got 506 results on the topic of business analytics. So this I was talking to you about earlier. So as I mentioned, during this time of lockdown, our team has actually classified the resources into various educational levels and disciplines. So you can actually narrow down the results based on your subject of study. And also our team has collated various research resources on the topic of COVID-19. So you can actually search them by clicking on the COVID-19 research resources. So this you can, once you open homepage, this pop-up window will appear. Otherwise, you can go to the home page. On the top, you will see this Corona outbreak study from home icon, which may be blinking. So you just click on it, then this pop-up window will appear. Okay, and then you can choose the relevant sections. Let me show you how to open a document at NDLI. So here I search for a topic called sales and marketing management. Okay, suppose if you want to open the first resource, so just click on that resource, then this kind of a page will open. So on the top left, you can see 2 tabs. One is metadata, another one is content. So these 2 tabs you can see. First click on the metadata tab. Once you click, you will see the following information. So this is called the metadata. So the title is Salesmanship and Sales Management. Author is John George Jones. Source is coming from World eBook Library. Content type is text. Publisher is New York Alexander Hamilton Hamilton Institute. File format is PDF. Language is English. So this basic information is called the metadata. Now if you see that this resource you find it useful, and the next thing you need to notice is below this icon you will see access restriction. So here it is showing a green color man with NDLI written, so which means you can actually download this resource, the entire resource at free of cost. So this is a free text, full text resource. Then on the right hand side top you can check I have already logged in as Vignesh Mohan. So actually I can now download the resource. So in order to download, just go to the content section, just click on the content, then the entire content will get downloaded into your desktop or a laptop or your mobile, depending on the device you are using. Okay, so this is how the NDLI document has to be opened. Suppose imagine if you have not logged in. So on the right hand side you can see my name is not showing. Suppose if you have not logged in, it will not show your name. So in that case, once you click on the content, it will take you to this page. It will ask you to please log in to view this content. So then you need to click on this login. Then the pop-up window will appear. So this is how the pop-up window looks like. It will ask you to enter your registered NDLI registered email ID, password, and enter the CAPTCHA and then click on login. So it will check your credentials. If it matches with our database, then it will let you in. You can download and use it free of cost. Suppose you've registered some 3-4 months back or few years back, you forgot your password. In that case, but you remember the email ID used. In that case, what you can do is just click on the account recovery. Then this pop-up window will appear. Okay. In that pop-up window, you can enter your email ID which you used for registration. So here I have given my email ID and then clicked on submit. Once you click on submit, then you will get the verification email. Okay. There you just have to click on the URL, verification URL, and then your account will, you can reset your password and you can re-log in with your new registered email ID and new password. Imagine you have never registered it in DLI. So in that case, what you need to do is, so bottom right, you will see a register icon. So just click on the register icon, then the registration form will open. It will ask you for your full name, email ID, password, and confirm password. These 4 details are mandatory fields. Rest of the fields you can fill it even after registration. And then at the bottom, you have to click on the terms and conditions and then click sign up. Once you click, you will get a verification email. Just click activate your account, verify by clicking on that URL, then log in with your email ID and password. Suppose if it's a video lecture, this is how the video lecture will play. So earlier I told you, for using NDLI, you need to do 2 important things. First thing is enter the correct keyword. That is the most important thing, and it should not have any spelling mistake. That's the first important thing. And the second one is you should know which are the filters to apply so that you can narrow down the results. Okay. The first filter option that you have is important. So I'm going to talk about only the most important filters. The first filter is access restriction. Suppose if you want only full text resources, just go here and then click on open and NDLI, then you will get the full text resources. Second filter is author. Suppose if you want author resources only from Wei Zhang, just click here, then you will get only the resource from Wei Zhang. And the third filter is subject category. Okay. So depending on the search topic which you have given, you have to choose the subject category. Suppose if you have given a topic on agriculture technology. Okay. So it may come under both social sciences and technology. So click on the relevant subject categories depending on the search topic. And the next filter is file format. Suppose if you want only the PDF files, just go here and then click on PDF. And the fifth filter is language. So NDLI resources are available in more than 300 languages. Okay, including some international languages also. So you can narrow down the results based on the language filter also. And the sixth filter is learning resource type. Suppose if you want only audiobooks, just go here and then click audiobook. Suppose if you want book, go here and type book, then you will get the books. Newspapers, periodicals, photographs. So you can narrow down the results based on the type of learning resource type. And the seventh filter is source. So I told you there are 278 content collaborators and you can choose it from the relevant content collaborator. And the eighth important filter is which is available only in the desktop application, and it is available on the right hand side, which is content type. So you can see the content type on the right hand side. And also this entire interface can be accessed in your own mother tongue also. So currently it's available in some 10 Indian languages: Hindi, Bangla, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, I think Telugu also, Odia, and Malayalam. So other Indian languages is also, Assam is also done, and it's coming in other Indian languages also. So for ease of use, our team has created NDLI mobile apps both for Android as well as in iOS. So if you have to download an app, so you can either go to a Play Store or an iStore. Just search for National Digital Library of India. So type the entire name because in iOS, if you put NDLI, it will not get. Type the entire name of the app name, and then you can see the logo, our logo, and also the name of the publisher. It should be National Digital Library of India. Then you can install the app. Okay. Now I will show you how to use the NDLI Android app. So in the desktop application, you may find it very easy, whereas in mobile phone, for people who are very conversant with mobile app, it would be more easier. So it depends on the user. So suppose if once you install the app, you open the app. So this is how the first screen shows the home page of NDLI app. It has subject domain, learning resource type, and featured resources. Okay. So in the mobile app, in order to search, you have to click on the search icon which is available on the top bar. Okay. Once you click on that icon, you will get the search box. So in the search box, you enter the keyword. So here I entered a keyword called Uttar Pradesh, and then in the keypad itself you enter search. Once you clicked on search, it will fetch the results, and it fetched me 41,573 results. Okay. So suppose if we want to narrow down the results, in the desktop application we had the filter options on the left hand side and also on the right hand side, but here in the mobile app it's available on the bottom right corner, which is also available in orange color. Okay, so you have to just click here, and then you can see the third screen which shows the various filter options which we saw on the desktop application. It's available on the top. You can actually see these filters by scrolling. You can scroll that filters and see other filters also. Suppose if I want to apply the filter of source, I wanted resources only from Aligarh Muslim University. Choose Aligarh Muslim University and then click apply, and then I got 199 results. Okay, so this is how you need to use the NDLI mobile app. Okay, so now before we move to the next section, I just wanted to take a quick activity. I wanted all of you to participate in this activity. So the activity has two parts. The first part is kindly go to Play Store or iStore and then download NDLI mobile app in your mobile phone. Okay, so that's the first part. Suppose if you have already installed, well and good. If you have not installed, kindly install. So this is the first step, and the second step is open the NDLI app and then go to search and then search for the topic of your subject of study or teaching or interest, whichever. All the three are also fine. Search for the topic which you teach or which you study or which you are interested in. And after this, I want you to put it in the chat window, whether you install the app, yes or no, and then which topic you searched and whether it was useful or not, whether the results you got were useful or not. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Now it's 12:45 in my system. So we will resume the rest of the presentation in 5 minutes. So before we move to that next presentation, so kindly do this activity and then put it in the chat message, whether you installed the app, if installed, what topic you searched, and whether you found it useful or not. So I want 3 information from you in the chat window, and your 5 minutes starts now, and you can turn on your camera for the next 5 minutes so that I can take some screenshot of the participants for reporting purposes. And your time starts now. Thank you so much.
Again, see here also this thing, remove and type. Main thing is give line spacing, align it properly. And remove this header footer, e-learning configuration system. And remove borders also. Shelja.
So somebody has turned on the mic.
Remove border, then you send me the document, then I will add the header footer.
So as I mentioned, kindly download NDLI mobile app and then install it and then search for the topic of your subject of study or teaching. Okay, so I'm getting feedback. Dr. Usha, she installed subject social sciences topic performance management. Raghavendra has searched Java programming. It's very useful. Thank you, Mr. Raghavendra. I installed NDLI and I browsed finance topic. It was useful. Thank you. Can you please repeat the next two step tasks? Okay, I'm going to repeat it, Dr. Rajeshi Chatterjee. First, install NDLI mobile app in your mobile and then go to Play Store or iStore and then install it and then open the app and then search for the topic of your teaching so that and then give me a feedback whether you install the app and which topic you searched and whether the resource is useful for you or not. So this is the thing that you need to do. During this process you may turn on the your video so that I can take some screenshots of the participants. Thank you. Topic behavioral economics. It's useful. Thank you, Nikhil MS. Mega Kukreja install search for financial management. Thank you. Very useful. Samini Rajesh Matthew. The first topic search was turnover intention. Okay. Dr. Suchita Rawat, National Digital Library app downloaded and installed. Topic forensic science search efficiently. Okay.
Sir, I have installed and applied statistics. I am not able to chat, sir. Ramesh Srinivasan.
Okay, so kindly mute the mic. Thank you so much. Installed
Sir,
banking demonetization. Okay, opened limnology chapters. Okay, good. Space. Queer theory, marketing management, good resource. Okay, good. So I think people are searching and they are giving the feedback. So in the meanwhile, I will take some screenshots of the participants.
Sir.
So kindly mute your mic and kindly put it in the chat message. That would be useful. And give me a few minutes. I'm just taking some screenshot of the participants.
I opened the app and search for machine learning.
Good, sir. Kindly turn off, mute your mic, sir. If everybody starts speaking, then
No, actually, I'm in the chat box, but I think we didn't see the message.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
So kindly mute it, please. Kindly mute your mic, please. Okay, so I have taken some screenshots of the participants. So now you may turn off your video, and thank you for your kind cooperation. So Dr. Ashok, Dr. Nisha Goyal, Dr. Asha, Sikal Kukeri, Talent Management, it's useful, Bhaskar Gaonkar, Bioenergetics, Forensic Anthropology, Bhavna Halawat, Gloria, Crystal, Fingerprints, okay, Psychology, Environmental Science, Education, Cyber Forensic, International Business. So even I'm learning a lot of new topics from you, machine learning, emotional intelligence, cost accounting. She searched for Vainik, VS, election reforms in India. Wonderful. So a lot of microeconomics, found it useful. Okay, so I think most of you have searched of your subject of study and teaching, and that's wonderful to hear. So now, before we move forward, I have few requests for you. One is like if you are finding these resource useful, in order to encourage the students to use it. So one of the institutions where our NDLA club is functioning, what they have done is they have started giving assignments from NDLA. So for example, in their psychology department, they give every month one assignment on the topic, and the resource has to be taken from NDLA. So then it becomes a part of the coursework. So similarly, I would encourage or request you to start giving the students assignments or study materials from NDLI, so that they start using it. Unless and until we first you start seeing using it, and then you encourage the students to use NDLI app, that would be of great service to the nation. So I humbly request each one of you to start using NDLI, and then spread this message across your students and faculty communities. And apart from this, you may want to take it with your friends and relatives, family members also. So I think now we will move ahead with the remaining presentation. So is the presentation visible? Just put it in the chat message.
Yes, visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we will move ahead.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Hello?
Yeah. Am I?
Hello?
Am
Yeah,
I?
I'm not able to hear you, sir.
Just give me a moment.
Audio is very clear, sir.
So, sir, maybe your internet connection is low, or your mic has not been joined. So that may be the reason. So we will. I think most of the people are able to hear me, I believe. Yes, thank you, Dr. Nisha. So now we will move ahead in the presentation. So kindly mute your mic, all of you. Thank you. So now let's look at what's the difference between Google and NDLI. So let's see it with an example. So I think somebody's mic has been turned on. So I will try to mute it centrally. Sure. So let's see it with an example. So imagine there is a girl called Payal who's studying in class 8, and she is studying in Hindi medium. And there is a guy called Shamik who wants to pursue his PhD on the topic of magnetism. And Payal is also wants to know about magnetism for her classwork. So both of them go to Google and they search for the topic called magnetism, and both of them got 1.89 crore results. Okay. And then they came to NDLI and they searched for the same topic, magnetism, and they got 11 lakh results. And what Payal did is she applied two filters. First filter is educational level. She chose 5th to 8th standard as her content requirement, and then language she chose as Hindi. So she got 8 results only. And what Shamik did was he wanted only career and technical papers. So he clicked on career and technical paper and he got 219 results. So you can imagine where is 1.89 crore results and where is 8 results. So that's the efficiency. So now let's look at what is the difference between these two things. So first and foremost, Google is a brilliant giant. We don't have any competition with them. Okay, so I wanted to make it clear. Google does its job brilliantly, right? But it has its own limitations. So let me tell you how Google functions. Suppose you put the word called magnetism. It will go around the entire World Wide Web, and wherever this word magnetism is there, it will pull the results. Okay, but it can't distinguish whether this resource is coming from an authentic source or an unauthentic source, whether it is an educational related content or a non-related non-educational related content, whether it is a real information or a fake information. So it can't distinguish between these three things. Whereas at NDLI, we only integrate resources which are of educational value. We partner with only educational research and publishing industries. So all of them should be in the educational domain. So primarily all our resources are meant for educational purposes only, right? And second thing is you can actually narrow down the results using the filter option. And all these filters are primarily designed for educational purpose. So you can see the filters, they are primarily meant for educational purposes only. And the next difference is you can modify the content search by content type. So you can do this in Google by clicking on the advanced options also. But many of the people don't know how to do the advanced search. So this is the next difference. And the fourth important difference is national licensing. So what happens under national licensing is the government of India proposed the national license on behalf of the Indian citizens and gave this license to NDLI. So any registered users of NDLI can access these resources at free of cost. Say for example, Government of India has procured national license from World eBook Library and South Asia Archives. So these two resources, if we have to procure, it will cost anywhere between 50 lakhs to like 75 lakh rupees, depending on the size of your institution. But the entire resource is now available at free of cost to all the citizens across the country. So what's the big picture? So what Government of India envisages maybe 5 years or 10 years down the line, if you have access to internet with a digital device, and if you know how to operate digital devices, you can access a digital certificate or a diploma program by like Swayam Prabha, Gyan, NPTEL, NDLI. So these things will become an supplementary and complementary learning resource material. So if you have the thirst for knowledge, you can actually access them from sitting at home. So that is possible. We have been encouraging the institutions to set up NDLI club primarily to promote the culture of reading among the student community. Okay, so to some extent our NDLI clubs are, so far we have set up around 152 NDLI clubs across the country, and they are actually started giving us results. So how do you set up? Identify one student from each class and one faculty member from each department, and one librarian as the librarian or a faculty member as the ex officio secretary, and principal as the ex officio chairman. So once you form the club, you can register it, and then you will be issued a certificate of registration. So after getting the certificate of registration, there are 2 steps you need to do. So this certificate of registration is valid for 1 year. Okay. So within that 1 year, you need to, first step is within 30 days of receipt of the certificate, you need to register all the students and faculty members to NDLI. And the second step is conduct at least 10 reading or knowledge related activities. So for doing the bulk registration, what you need to do is collect 3 details from your students and faculty members. What are those three details? Their personal email ID, their first name and last name. Put it in an Excel sheet and then send it to us. We will do a bulk registration of them. They will get a verification email and then they can activate that account and they are all set to go. So similarly, for individual registration, you have to just go to the home page and then bottom right corner, you have a register button. Just click on the register button. Then the registration form will open. Just enter the basic details like full name, email ID, password and confirm password. And then submit. You will get the verification email. Just activate the, click on that URL and then you can activate your account. And similarly, you can conduct 10 activities, reading related activities. So these activities could be a lecture series or a quiz competition, storytelling session, go fish competition, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, maker space, debate. So you may, these are just indicative list of activities, but you can come up with your own list of activities for conducting the activities. So these are some of the activities being conducted by various NDLA clubs across the country. And also we have come up with incentive mechanism for best performing NDLA clubs at the district, state and national level also. And we have also worked out reading Olympiads at the district and state and national level. So this is what I wanted to share it with all of you. And now I'm going to give you an activity, a quiz come feedback form. So for people who need a certificate of e-certificate of participation, I request you to submit the quiz come feedback form. So I'm just going to share that URL now. Just give me a moment. So the URL, I'm just putting it in the chat window. So I just entered it in the chat window. You will, you might have received that URL for submitting the quiz come feedback form. So I will open this quiz come feedback form for your benefit, and I will share my screen also so that you can see. So there was a message from Dr. Subia Parvin. So if you have any problem, you can reach out to me. So my contact details are with Dr. Miramani. So you can take my coordinates from Dr. Miramani. I will give my email ID in the chat window, so you can reach out to me in case if you find any difficulty. And there was another query from J. Venkatramana Raju. Could download an important paper on alike geometry. Okay, thank you for the feedback, Dr. So I'm repeating. I've just sent. I'm resent the URL for everyone for submitting the QuizCom feedback form. So the quiz feedback I am showing it in the screen now. So the feedback form asks for your name of the institution, which is your whatever is your name of the institution, Jain Team University, and whatever is the subfield. Name of the participant, your full name. Date of the webinar, which is today. Kindly don't put your date of birth because a lot of people have entered their date of birth, and then enter your designation, your email ID, mobile number, and then comes question on, do you have a login account for NDLI? That means, have you already registered at NDLI or no? And the next question is, name the various filter options available at NDLI. I was telling you it was available in the desktop application on the left hand side and also on the right hand side. I kept repeating it during the presentation. If you remember it, just enter all the filter options, or at least some 5 filter options, and then what are the various learning resource types available in NDLI. Again, I've told you, if you don't remember, kindly go to the NDLI app, click on the orange color icon available at the bottom, then you will be able to see all the filters. There is a filter called learning resource type. Then you can see what are the various learning resource types available, and NDLI content in available in how many languages. I told you there is a number, at least list out 5 access options available in NDLI. I already told you, open and NDLI are 2 access options. You have to find out the remaining access options, and then how NDLI is different from Google. How, next question is how NDLI helps you to your learning during COVID-19 lockdown situation. Write in 100 words. Overall feedback about NDLI, any suggestions for NDLI to consider, and then feedback about the online webinar conducted by Dr. Vignesh. So this is how the feedback come quiz form, quiz come feedback form looks like. For people who are finding it difficult to locate the so I'm just going to put back the URL. Dr. Asha, I have entered it to you separately. Gori Mohammed, I have entered it to your chat message. I'm repeating, sending it to everyone. So if the URL is not opening, it means your internet is slow, because I've just showed you, I opened the URL, it is opening. So for people who need an e-certificate of participation, so kindly enter the details and don't be in a hurry to fill the form, then you will make mistakes, and you need to have at least 50 percentage of the questions correct, then only you will be issued a certificate. Okay, so there is a question from Matthew P. Raj. Will the feedback form be sent to the group or individual mail IDs? So I have just sent it in this chat window itself. You might see there is a chat window available in your mobile app or on your desktop. Okay, you can just click on this URL and then type. Alternatively, I will Dr. Asha, I have personally sent it to your message again. Kindly check. I've sent it to everyone also. And Dr. Miramani, I will send you the URL if your participants wants it. How many of you are able to open this feedback URL? So people are able to see Uma Warrior, Vidya Chandrasekhar, Ashish Kumar Singh, Arun Kumar Nakata, Dr. Tanusri Mondal. So a lot of people are able to see. I think if your internet is slow, then it may be fine. You may find it difficult. So I will give you at least time till 2 o'clock, so you can fill it peacefully. Don't be in a hurry in filling, because you will make mistakes. So take your time in filling it, and I will send the URL to Dr. Miramani's email ID, and she may forward it to all of you for people who are not able to do it. So I will keep this URL open only till 2 o'clock. So if you want the certificate to be issued, so kindly fill this. So Dr. Miramani, I've just sent you the URL to your email ID. So you can forward it to all the participants.
How to submit the form, sir?
So at the bottom you have an submit option, right? So it's an online form. So you can, once you have submit, it will come to us.
Okay.
So Dr. Miramani, I think I'm done from my end.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Vignesh Sarnamohan, for the wonderful and educative session on National Digital Library of India awareness for faculty members. It enlightened us about the various resources of National Digital Library of India and how to access it easily, how NDLI is different than Google, what is National Digital Library of India Club, and how to operate it. I hope our faculty members have been benefited from this session. On behalf of Jain Deemed to be University and all the participants, I would like to thank you once again. I am also very much thankful to all the participants. Our special thanks to all the deans, directors, principals, coordinators, faculties, and librarians of Jain Deemed to be University for their constant support for making this event a success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
the first response I received from
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Jayaprakash. So he submitted the feedback form. So thank you, Mr. Jayaprakash. So rest of you can submit it before 2 o'clock. So I've sent the URL to Dr. Miramani, so she may forward it to you in the group or whatever you feel.
Yeah, and please note if you want my mobile number 984 55 00 343.
And I'm entering my.
Can you repeat, madam?
984 55
Okay.
00
Uh,
343.
Okay. Oh,
And I have entered my email ID, which is vignesh@ndl.gov.in and vigneshgnu@gmail.com. So both the email IDs work. So you can, if you have any technical difficulties, you may write to me separately. So I put it in the chat message in case if you want, you can access it. So I once again thank each one of you for your kind cooperation and participation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.